Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is the channel for Elevon Studios, video game studio. So if you're new here, it's me and two of the developers, and we're currently working on our second game. The first one we did was for Game Jam, and we placed 54th out of 890. Pretty good. And so today, one huge update I've got for y'all, which I'm just going to share up front, is we got multiplayer working across Steam. So Sam lives in a different state, and we got it working. We were playing online earlier together in our game, which is awesome. So that's huge news. Now that that's done, I'm going to be moving on to UI, UX, and then also the narrative. And so I thought I would talk about that today. I had a dream a while ago, and in the dream, Johnny Depp points in my face and he puts his finger in my face and he says, "You have to tell your stories. You have to tell your stories. You have to tell your stories." Just like that, 3 times right in my face. And so that was strange. I've always had this desire to make video games, to tell stories through them. And so that was kind of what started this whole thing for me. And so I'm going to combine that little piece into the next one, which is one of my favorite stories growing up. I guess I shouldn't say favorite. I should say most impactful. My mom, when we would go on vacation or any kind of long road trip to visit family or anything like that, she would stop at the Cracker Barrel and get books on CD. So this is before LTE or any kind of streaming internet cell phone technology. This is still when people were using CDs. And so she would get these books on CD, and there's one that stuck out to me as a little kid, and I don't remember the name of the story, but the story, the protagonist is a little kid. I believe it was a girl. It's kind of Pilgrim's Progress-ish. It's allegorical. There's all these sharp rocks on the ground, and she cries, and the tears make the rocks not be sharp anymore. She cries her way across this low valley of sharp rocks, and she encounters all these things. What they represent is pretty clear. And at the end, she goes to fight this witch. In her mind, the main character, she thinks that because she's good, she's going to win. The way the story ends, or at least how I remember the story ending, is that she goes and confronts the evil witch. And the witch kicks her ass and she dies. And that's it. You know, a little 8-year-old bear sitting in the van, I was flabbergasted, right? Up to this point, I'd been fed Disney stories off of Nickelodeon. Generally, all of those stories have happy endings. And so in this one, where the main character was a good character and died, just, you know, made me think for a long time. So from a very young age, I knew it wasn't good enough to be good, right? And so how this ties back into Johnny Depp pointing in my face, telling me stories, it's not good enough to have a desire to tell stories. It's not good enough to just do something because you feel like you need to sharpen those skills. And so I've been doing a lot of research on narrative storytelling through video games, and I think I've landed in a pretty solid spot. I'm looking over here because I've got a little note going. Yeah, okay, that's it. So I don't want the gameplay and the stories to be separate silos. And what that means is you play a bunch of game, you get a cutscene or some dialogue. You play a bunch of game, you get a cutscene, some dialogue. I don't want it to be where the story and the gameplay exists separately, but I want the gameplay to push the story along. So some of the themes that we're looking at, for example, building trust, right? There's some multiplayer shouldn't just be about co-survival. It should also be a trust exercise to some extent. We're using weather and location for emotional tone setting, hunger and thirst to create a constant pressure to move forward. Swimming can be something like vulnerability, risk, discovery. These are just kind of how I want to take the normal mechanics of the game and push the story forward. The idea is to weave the story and the game together so that you're constantly making meaningful and fun progress, right? Because if nothing else, people get bored or they need that dopamine hit. Ideally, you're telling a story that's compelling and the gameplay is fun and they're happening at the same time, not one at a time. So I hope that all made sense. What I want to know from you guys, if y'all have ever played a game where the systems told the story before the dialogue did, I would love to hear about that, because I'll totally check it out on YouTube or whatever. So the idea that I would love to hear from you all is where the systems in the game told the story before the dialogue did. It's an example of don't tell me, show me. So if you know of games like that where the story isn't just told to you, but is shown to you, man, share it. I would love to hear it. That's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's a shorter one. Please like and subscribe, follow our journey, follow our progress. And if you haven't considered it, please consider joining our Patreon. That would be a huge help. Other than that, have a great day, and I'll see you next week. Peace.